Hey, Bruce, could you just give us an update on Pasta?
Yeah, Pasta skated today briefly. Did some work after in the gym. So that's encouraging. He's got his skates on out there. How does that bode for tomorrow? Not sure yet. Probably a little premature. Let's see how he does in the morning. So I'd put him at, I'd say 50-50, I guess, at best right now. Of course, that could change over 24 hours.
We'll go to Matt Fauteur. Go ahead, Matt. Okay, we'll go to Mike Loftus.
Hi, Bruce.
Hi, Mike.
How are you? But so yesterday, you kept your top six intact, at least to start, and made all your forward changes in the bottom six. What are you trying to gain, by doing it that way?
Well, we just want to, I think yesterday we explained we put some players in that would be excited to play. I think our energy level can always increase, specifically in this format. I think, like I said, you have to have an internal motor right now, create a lot of your own buzz. So having some fresh legs in there, can give you some of that. Lindholm, we know what he can do. He's a good, solid player. That line's played well with him in the middle. Helps our penalty kill. Corrali moves up with Coyle. We had them there in training camp. We had Sean on the right side, with I believe it was Richie on the left at the time. So, and I thought they had a little more pace to their game and then Jack on the right. Guy can make some plays and will shoot the puck. Just he's new to this whole experience. We weren't sure what we were going to get. So, some of it was inserting some new blood, Mike, and part of it was they had played together, these guys. So it wasn't like it was all new. Obviously, Jack is new because he's the one guy that really hasn't played much with anybody, but the other guys had. So, and as for leaving the top six together, we like Krejci's line the first game. The second game, they weren't quite as effective, and yesterday they were again. So 2 out of 3, I think they've been the better line of whoever they've played against. And Bjork stayed up with Bergie and Marsh. Just some experience there. He's played there. And then if we put Jack up there, that's a lot to ask for him. So at the end of the day, we can move people around in game. We did with Anders a little bit. He had some penalty trouble, so he took himself out of it a little bit as well. So that was the thinking. Worked out. See how it goes tomorrow.
We'll go to Kevin Dupont.
Excuse me, Bruce. Just to follow quickly, and then a separate question. What did you think of Jack's play? And the separate question being, I checked with the league office yesterday. They said a player like Tuukka could come back in. He's not excluded by return to play. Could you envision that being within the realm of possibility?
I guess. I mean, Tuukka would best be able to answer that. We exchanged texts today, left him a message. So he's doing well. His family's doing well. So that's very encouraging for everyone in the Bruins organization. As we said before, we support Tuukka. We wish him well. We want nothing but the best for him and his family. Should circumstances change there where he feels he can, come back to the club, then I think we'll cross that bridge when we come to it and see what it involves. Obviously, as you said, the NHL is okay with it. And that's how we'd handle that. I wasn't involved in the conversation with, when he spoke to Donnie. So that's probably another question for Donnie as well, if they even bridge that. So, and as for Jack, played very well, was on pucks, gives us good energy. Again, the things we like about Jack, he brought, we're only concerned about, is this, the grind in the battle of the playoffs, is he up for it? There was some loyalty to other players as well. Before we put Jack in, and so that was considered, but I like what he did. You see a lot of young guys this year in this tournament, Kevin, that are doing well. So I just think some of it has to do with the circumstances, and some guys are just able to handle it. So that's step one for him. He was good. We'll see where our health is at tomorrow, and but he certainly did everything we asked of him to stay in the lineup, and certainly. Excited that he was able to do that, because that's another sort of piece that we can use that add to our depth, which is so crucial at this time of year.
Go to Jan Roche.
Hi, Bruce. Kind of along the lines of players that you inserted into the lineup and the energy, just your thinking on how much you and your staff have thought about these types of things because of the fact, usually, you go through a playoff series, you're down 0-2, well, we're going home, we'll have the crowd, or, we head to game 5, we'll have the crowd, or it'll be different. The circumstances are certainly different where you are because there's no travel. How does that affect you, what you're trying to do energy-wise in ignite your lineup?
Well, that's part of it. I mean, the travel wears on your team, so we don't have that. We're aware of that part of it. But some of the stuff that playoff hockey brings out, the fans, the energy, that even like I've said, the media buzz, even in Boston, for example, you're driving into the rink and the everyone's in their Bruins jersey, going to have a beer or lunch or whatever they're having, or an early dinner. There's billboards, there's talk on the radio. It's just, there's just different things going on that get you excited to play that you don't have here, right? And so that's what I'm saying. It has to come from within. And it certainly does under normal times as well. But I'm saying that if for some reason you're lacking a little bit that day, those are the things that routinely or in the past that can get you going a little bit. So here again, I think it's some fresh legs, guys that are excited to be in there, and can give you that little boost. And we got some of that yesterday. Cliffy as well. I didn't mention him. Clifton did a nice job for us. He was physical. He announced that the Hurricanes that he's going to be here. He's going to be hard to play against, and so those little things add up. They're good players as well, and they know what their roles are. They do their job. So you put that combination, I think it worked well for us. I mean, would we have won the game with a similar lineup as the day before? Who knows, right? I don't know. Those guys might have bounced back and played better, so I'm not putting it on them. I'm just saying that the additions gave us some juice, and I think it helped us.
We'll go to Fluto Shinzawa.
Bruce, regarding Yarrow, it's been a few years since he's had to carry the ball in the playoffs. So with where he is in his stage of his career and then the two goalies that are behind him, how do you want to manage his workload, fatigue, fitness to the point where he can give you what you need?
Well, he's our guy. He's proven that right now. The other guys have not. Not saying they couldn't handle it, and we may have to look at the game 5 and 6 back to back. Pluto the other day. I don't want to get that far ahead. Let's get through tomorrow night's game. Let's see where Yarrow's at. He has played back to back for us. I know a couple of years ago we need him to do that. So he's a guy that we've seen do it and have success. Will we go that route? Let's see where we're at. Let's see where his physical well-being is as well. He hasn't played a lot of hockey, so is he going to be suited for that type of action? Is it a heavy game or a busy game? The game, preceding the second part of the back-to-back. Are we comfortable with the other goaltenders? There's a little bit of that goes into it. And without having seen them, that's a tough question to answer. To be honest with you, we're going to have to sort of wing it if we go that way because they haven't played in this return to play, and they've only seen practice shots. So all that has to be considered. And then ultimately probably come down to Yarrow's call. Can he handle it? If that's the route we need to go.
Last question will be from Stephen Conroy.
Bruce, could you just comment on Z's game yesterday? It was kind of a game for him. You guys got a 2-goal lead, and his minutes were back up again. And could that be, a kind of game that would get him over the hump a little bit and get him to where he needs to be?
Yeah, I think it is. I've said it before. He's a player now where he is in his career. He's most effective when we have a lead. We're protecting a lead, killing penalties. We had 5 penalties yesterday to kill. We did have the lead. So late in game, he becomes a shutdown guy. So yes, I think he's a guy that's going to look better. He's going to shine in those types of games. When we're playing from behind, the defensive-minded guys, the guys that are responsible with pucks, et cetera, they're not going to look as good when you're chasing the game. So, good for him. I know he feels better about his game. As I said before, I think the bigger guys are going to need the reps. He's starting to get more reps, and as a result, more comfortable in his game against a fast opponent that forechecks, tries to play behind him a lot. They chip pucks behind him. That's where him and Charlie have to be good on the retrievals and communicating. I thought yesterday was a good step forward in that regard. And again, with the lead, he excels. His game excels, and it definitely was the case yesterday.